So I have officially reached 300 hours in Deadlock, and even though I cannot say I'm one of the best players in the world, I think I can claim that I'm decent enough to be able to say with full confidence that if you like third-person shooters and have never played a MOBA before, this game is perfect for you, and I think Deadlock on full release will be one of the biggest games in the world. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Degoob, and this is my love letter to Deadlock. Now, what exactly makes Deadlock so special, other than the unorthodox pairing of tags that are third-person shooter and MOBA? Surely other games have done the same thing? No, I'm not going to be playing Smite. Originally for the video, I actually intended to try and learn Smite and play and then compare it, but that wouldn't even be a fair comparison, and Smite 2 cost a little bit of money over here in the Philippines, so I will not be doing that. But I did realize it was going to be a good bit, so maybe in another video. Anyway, it's not the same as Smite 2, and I don't think I'm willing to get 600 pesos worth of game just so I can tell you that. But what I will do is tell you, the viewer, to try Deadlock. It's free. Go into the Discord if you don't have friends that play it. It's super easy to find someone to invite you. So please try Deadlock, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons as to why. Now, if you are watching this video, chances are that you've already heard about the game and probably have already tried it, but if you haven't tried it yet, I highly encourage you to do so. However, I also understand the point that it looks intimidating. It legit has the Forsaken acronym in it, MOBA. It's one of the main selling points of the game, and if you didn't want to get into Dota or League of Legends in the first place, I can understand why this might seem like a stretch to you. But this is exactly why I'm making this video, to try and alleviate some of that worry and pressure that comes with trying a new game as heavy-handed as Deadlock. So, without further ado, here are the 3 reasons why I think you should try Deadlock. Reason number 1. It's already super popular. To begin with, Deadlock already has a big player base, sitting at around 38,000 players in a 24-hour peak. That's more than other games like 2K25, Destiny 2, Helldivers 2, and so on and so forth. This level of interest in an early beta shows that there's already a sizable community growing in the game, even in its earliest stages. This means that in terms of support, community size, and overall exposure, the game is already performing very well, so there shouldn't be any worry about the game becoming stagnant as a result of the player base. This also means that Valve listens to any outstanding issues that anybody has with the game, because other than their reputation, the community is large enough that if there are any outstanding issues, it will be very vocal. I mean, simply look towards the Reddit for Deadlock and it shows... Whoa, wow, whoa, oh my. Anyway, the point still stands. It's a very popular game, and with it comes a lot of benefits of being a popular game, especially one made by a major development studio just like Valve. One of those benefits is the constant development by the Valve devs in trying to fix and better the game. Trust me when I say that hearing that there's a new patch and seeing the almighty profile picture never gets old, and it is really one of the best parts of the game. This also extends into the live updates for the game that result in an ever-changing flow that somehow maintains its freshness and, without a doubt, is one of my favorite parts about playing Deadlock. The fact that the community and the game devs themselves, Valve, are very intertwined and they listen to each other, listen to the feedback. One of the best examples of this is the sort of botched matchmaking system at the beginning, where they kind of separated ranked and casual, and then what ended up happening was it was just messy, and they changed it to what it is now. And even though some people may disagree with it, I enjoy the fact that they're trying, and so it's ever changing, and it's not necessarily a bad change or that it takes a step back. It's just that it's a change, and that is more than I can say for certain other live update games. Valve feels like they have to make sure the game stays fresh and good because it's a popular game and they want to maintain its popularity. If this game was dead and it didn't matter, Valve would take their sweet ass time on every update and wouldn't listen to the small ass community. But this community has been growing so much, r/Deadlock is huge now. So at least you know, the updates are just going to keep on coming. But I'm going to move on now because I think you get my point. It's a very popular game and I think Valve is going to keep updating it, so you should stick around now and really see the development of the game because that's one of the fun parts. But again, moving on to reason 2, the build system. I think I speak for many people when I say that one of the challenges when entering MOBA is the item system. What to buy, what you have to rush, what's good for my character. It can all feel so overwhelming when you don't understand any of the items yet and don't have a full grasp on the game. It can literally feel like needing a PhD in unemployment just to be able to get by, requiring copious amount of videos and short guides to do not that good. And it can really feel like you're just getting stomped over and over again and you won't fully understand why. And this is exactly what I think Deadlock does a little better for people who are completely new to the genre. Deadlock has a built-in system where you can put items into build orders with annotations and descriptions. This helped me massively when trying to learn the game for the first time because I had only ever dabbled in Dota 2, and I didn't really play it as much as I did suffer through it, never really getting enough MOBA knowledge for it to be applicable in the game. And I never really enjoyed myself in Dota 2 as I do in Deadlock. And this is because the build system really helped me ease into the game and learn how to properly balance my items, learn my character, and get a good feel for Deadlock as a whole. This is exactly why I think the Deadlock build system is really important. And I think more MOBA should have something like that, because for those who are worried you're going to need a PhD just to understand how to play, needing to watch a shit ton of guides just to get good at one character out of how many is going to be in the roster, don't worry, all of that is pretty optional now, and that's exactly why I love Deadlock's build system. Overall, I think it is meant to lower the skill wall for what it takes to learn the game and really get into it, which I think is a major difference between Deadlock and other MOBAs. Deadlock likes to focus on non-MOBA fans, choosing to go for easy to read and overall not very artsy drawings to make each item more approachable, down to the item and damage categories of Vitality, Soul, and Weapon all being in the shop and easily approachable and easily readable. A lot of parts of Deadlock are built to make a smooth transition from a hero shooter like Overwatch into a MOBA like Deadlock, which brings me to my next and final point for the video. Reason number 3. It's also a shooter. This is possibly the most obvious aspect of Deadlock when people ask what makes it special, but it really is integral to understanding why I think Deadlock shouldn't be intimidating to new players. Deadlock takes aspects out of what makes hero shooters so great and adds them into the world of a MOBA. Sales pitch aside, this makes for some pretty stellar gameplay unlike anything we've ever seen in the market. Deadlock is also on the Source engine and has some pretty sweet movement to accompany an already loaded gameplay loop. Right here on screen is a movement tech in the game that the dev team patched out but then patched back in, showing that they at least want Deadlock to be able to have fast-paced movement like this. For those who are wondering, this is the heavy melee animation cancel tech that keeps the momentum of a melee but removes the ending animation that removes all of the momentum. This is just one part of the game that leads to it being a much smoother transition than what most people think. The third-person shooter aspect as well makes this game feel so good to play because of how the movement and shooting elements blend with the heavier mobile mechanics of the game. And well, yes, the player base is dwindling right now, and there are some outstanding problems with the game since it's in beta, and it leads to changing metas every week, and the cooldown issue that Deathy mentioned this morning, and I still think that some parts of the game definitely need to be fixed. I also think that new players will have a great time with the game simply because of the core aspects. Of course, though, there is a minor cheating problem, but this is all going to be fixed over time, and the reason I made this video is because I want new players to come in and try to experience this game while it's still in this early form, because the final product might not be the same. And not saying that the final product will be worse, I'm simply saying that you should do it while it's hot, because this game is the shit in my opinion. And I think that's where I'm going to end off the video. Reason 3 was a bit short, but it's really hard for me to explain what makes this shooter aspect blend so well with the MOBA aspects without you experiencing it for yourself. Obviously, I don't know if you're going to like this game from the get-go, and it might take a little more than 10 hours in the game to really fall in love with it, but I adore this game and everything it's trying to do and what Valve is trying to do. And that is exactly why I think whoever's watching this video, if you haven't tried Deadlock yet, please try Deadlock. Thank you. This has been my video.